Friday. We're gonna have the weekend coming up. Alright. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, here's the latest from your flash briefing. In NPR News. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Janine Herbst. President Biden is hosting the leaders of Japan and South Korea at the presidential retreat, Camp David. NPR's Franco Ordonez reports it's the first standalone summit between the three nations.
Japan and South Korea have had decades of disagreements dating back to Japan's occupation of Korea. But relations have been improving, and President Biden is eager to strengthen ties with both countries. It's part of his broader push to counter China's influence in the region. Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the meeting sets the conditions for a more peaceful Indo-Pacific region and a more secure United States of America.
We're opening a new era, and we're making sure that era has staying power.
The three leaders plan to strengthen security cooperation, including more comprehensive military exercises and a commitment to consulting on security issues. Franco Ordonez, NPR News, the White House.
Attorneys for the 5 former Memphis police officers charged with murdering Tyre Nichols are in court today for a hearing. The officers beat Nichols during a traffic stop in January, and he died 3 days later. NPR's Kristen Wright reports prosecutors are dismissing several cases involving the officers.
The Shelby County District Attorney's Office is dropping the charges in more than 30 cases. The cases involve the 5 now fired Memphis police officers who pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder in Tyre Nichols' death. The inquiry started after video showed the officers brutally beating Nichols, sparking federal investigations of the Memphis Police Department. The prosecutor is also reducing the charges in about 12 other cases. His office says they've reviewed about 100.
NPR's Kristen Wright reporting. Ukraine continues its slow grinding counter-offensive, but Russia is also mounting fierce attacks in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian officials are urging villagers to evacuate, as NPR's Brian Mann reports.
In recent days, Russian units have launched intense artillery and rocket strikes near Kupiansk, with ground combat between Russian and Ukrainian forces reported near the town's outskirts. Ukraine's government issued a strong advisory to more than a dozen local villages for people to evacuate. In a statement sent to NPR, Igor Bodina, an official with the International Red Cross, said aid workers in the nearby city of Kharkiv are scrambling to help families. We saw single women with babies in their arms who had neither diapers nor baby food, Bodina said. We saw disabled people who were simply unable to leave earlier. Some military experts worry pressure by Russian forces could distract Ukrainian troops who are still seeking a breakthrough in bitter fighting in the south and east.
We'll see what Patrick Lancaster has to say on that.
Wall Street is trading in mixed territory at this hour. The Dow is up 4 points, but that is up just a fraction. The Nasdaq is down 75. That's down more than 0.5%. The S&P 500 is down 10 points. You're listening to NPR News. Each year, more than 340,000 women die of cervical cancer, mainly caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. HPV-related cancers also kill more than 64,000 men, but the prevalence of the virus in men has been unclear until now. From member station KJZZ, Nicholas Gerbis has more.
New research published in The Lancet Global Health reports that almost 1 in 3 men over the age of 15 are infected with at least one genital HPV type. 1 in 5 are infected with one or more of the cancer-linked varieties. The prevalence was highest between the ages of 25 and 29. The review and meta-analysis involved 65 studies comprising almost 45,000 men from 35 countries. HPVs typically cause no symptoms and clear up on their own, but certain types can cause anogenital warts or cancers. The findings underline the importance of including men in HPV prevention and eradication strategies. For NPR News, I'm Nicholas Gerbis in Phoenix, Arizona.
A neonatal nurse in Britain has been found guilty of killing 7 babies and the attempted murder of 6 others. It happened between 2015 and 2016. Lucy Letby was found not guilty on 2 charges, and the jury, which deliberated for 22 days, was unable to reach a verdict on other charges. Letby was accused of injecting air into the infants' bloodstreams and milk into their stomachs, among other charges. She pleaded not guilty. Crude oil prices are up just a fraction at $80.44 a barrel. I'm Janine Herbst, NPR News in Washington.
With NPR Plus, you get bonus content from behind the scenes of your favorite shows, like the NPR Politics Podcast.
A friend of mine who worked at the Associated Press came in to the courtroom.
Skip.
In NASA news, NASA will provide coverage of the upcoming pre-launch and launch activities for the agency's SpaceX Crew 7 mission with astronauts to the International Space Station.
Live coverage. We got them at the space
NASA's
station
SpaceX
now.
Crew 6 will answer media questions at 2:40 p.m. EDT Wednesday, August 23rd, about their mission aboard International Space Station prior to returning to Earth.
How was it? It was spacey.
NASA astronaut Laurel O'Hara will virtually discuss her upcoming mission to the International Space Station during the interviews ahead of launch. La NASA invita a los estudiantes de Escuela Secundaria y Preparatoria de Estados Unidos a presentar ideas de experimentos para vuelos de prueba a bordo de un globo de gran altitud o de un módulo de aterrizaje propulsado por cohete en el tercer desafío. Estudiantil Tech Rise. NASA is calling on middle and high school students across the country to submit experiment ideas for a high-altitude balloon rocket-powered lander test flight in the third Tech Rise Student Challenge. In weather. Currently, in Seattle it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 56 degrees. From NASA. NASA will provide coverage of the upcoming pre-launch and launch activities for the agency.
Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
I once read a book about mazes. I got really lost in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, sorry for your luck. Sucker. Just kidding. All right. Y'all have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy.